Hey Book Dragons, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Thank you for tuning in. And we are going to be talking about 3 books that I am eagerly anticipating for their release in 2026. Now, you may be wondering why I have only picked 3 books. Well, that's because I don't really follow new releases. Mostly because either they are part of a series that I am not reading yet or have no desire to read, or they are books that fall in a series that I have only barely started, and so I can't read the new releases yet. So I don't typically follow new releases. But there are some books coming in 2026 for which I am current on their respective series. Okay? So we're going to talk about those. If you want to grab something to eat or drink while you're watching my video, feel free to go do that now. Pause it here. And if you're already ready to go, you got everything you need, let's talk about these 3 books. And none of my videos are really short, so you might be thinking that this video is going to be relatively short because there's only 3 books, but you know I like to talk. Come on, guys. And if you don't know me yet, if you're new to the channel, I like to talk. So just stick around for a while. It will be shorter than most, I can say that, but yeah. So the first book on this list, I'm just going to get it out of the way. That is 12 Months by Jim Butcher. That is book 18 in the Dresden Files. If you don't count the novella called The Law, which I do count that, and if you don't count the short story collections, which I also count, otherwise, if you count all those like I do, this will be book 21 in the Dresden Files series. So, but it's technically book 18 in the ongoing series of full novels that Jim Butcher has written. And I think he plans for it to be 25 altogether as far as full novels. I might be mistaken, he might have changed his mind, but we've been waiting for a Dresden Files book for a while. And I am so excited for 12 Months. Of all the books I'm going to talk about today, I'm the most excited about Dresden. And this follows the aftermath of Peace Talks and Battleground. And I'm not going to get into what that aftermath entails because that would be spoilers. But if you have not read Peace Talks and Battleground, don't read this book, okay? But if you are caught up like I am, and you love this series as much as I do, 12 Months comes out on January 20th, 2026. I have my pre-order in. And in fact, I have 2 pre-orders in. I have the ebook pre-order in, and I have the audiobook pre-order in. Because I like to read this series immersively. And James Marsters is doing the audiobook again. And I just can't wait for him to be Harry for me again. And also to be Bob and the other voices as well. I can't wait, guys. When this first was listed on Audible, it did not have James Marsters' name attached to it. And I'm like, don't tell me that's going to be somebody else. I mean, don't do this to me. They did that to the fans a few books back with the original narrator. I think it was for Changes. The original narrator was someone else. And the fan outcry was so heavy that they brought James Marsters in to record another version of that audiobook just to please fans. And they damn well better have, because, you know, James Marsters is a fan favorite among Dresden fans. So, yeah. Anyway, he is officially attached. He is officially doing the audiobook, and I will be there, waiting with bated breath for this next novel in the series. And I will be reading it day one as soon as it comes out, as soon as it hits my Kobo, and as soon as it hits my Audible account. I will be fully immersed in the next book of the Dresden Files. So let's move on. Now that I've made a long-winded presentation about 12 months, let's move on to another book that I'm really excited about. And guys, that is A Trade of Blood by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is book 3 in the Shadow of the Leviathan series, which features our favorite detectives, Anna and Din. And the first 2 books were absolutely amazing. Couldn't put them down. The Tainted Cup and A Drop of Corruption, in my opinion, were perfect books. Now, no book is perfect, right? But every book is probably perfect for somebody, and it was perfect for me. I love mystery, I love fantasy, and I love a weird and unique take on both, and this was definitely that. So, A Trade of Blood is supposed to be coming out sometime this summer. The last I heard from Robert Jackson Bennett, he was saying June-ish. Now, I'm not going to hold him to that. It's a tentative date, right? But we are supposed to be getting the next book next year, probably in the summer, and I'm so excited. That is going to be another day one read for me. And guys, you will find that when I'm talking about new upcoming releases that I am highly anticipating, that means they are going to be a day one read. That means I will be reading them as soon as I possibly can. If I am awake at midnight and it hits my Kobo, I will probably be reading it and staying up way too late, when I have work the next morning. But, that when you're a bookish person, that's just kind of what happens, right? You can sleep when you're dead, as they say. But I don't want to die anytime soon, so I guess I should get some sleep and stop doing that as much. But, yes, you get the idea. A Trade of Blood, it sounds really interesting, and I have no idea what it's about, but maybe there's blood magic involved. I have no idea. This series has not ceased to surprise me, and I can't wait. So, there we go. That's the second book. Now we're moving on to book number 3, guys. And this, again, has a tentative date, but the book is complete. And that is Victorious by V.E. Schwab. I get V.E. Schwab's newsletters. If you have not subscribed to her newsletter, they're phenomenal. I highly recommend you go do it. But this is the third and final book in the Villains saga. So book 1 was Vicious, book 2 was Vengeful, and the third book is Victorious. And I can't wait, guys. This is a great series. I like V. Schwab in general, but I really like this series in particular. Definitely a favorite of mine. And I can't wait to see what happens to the characters and how she ends the series. She's been working on it quite a while now. And as of her last newsletter, she just turned in her final edits. And so we're on track to release sometime next year. Now, I'm thinking it will be late next year. Not early next year for sure. She has mentioned something, I think, in one of her newsletters, that it was probably going to be sometime in the fall. So we'll just say fallish. And I will be there. Once the pre-order gets announced, I will be pre-ordering that book, just like with the other 2. And as soon as it hits my Kobo, I will be reading that book. Actually, no, not my Kobo, because that one I am going to be buying the physical copy. Same with Trade of Blood, actually. I will be buying the physical copies of those. I do ebooks for Dresden because it's such a long series that I just don't want to have that big of a series on my shelf. Even though I am a huge fan, and you're probably trying to take away my fan card from me now that you heard that, but it is what it is. That's what I do with larger series. I just buy them all on ebook so that they don't take up space on my shelf and I have to buy more shelves. But for Victorious and for A Trade of Blood, I will be buying those physically. And I'm really excited about V. Schwab's new book, and I can't wait for more from her either. I've still got books I need to finish from her, though, so yeah, I've got plenty to read from her. But if she comes out with a new book at some time in the future, I will probably get that one too, because I really love her writing. So, that's it, guys. That's all I have to say about books that I am anticipating for 2026. Let me know some of the books that you are anticipating. I would love to hear from you. Tell me what your most anticipated read is for 2026. And if it's a new release, tell me that that is your most anticipated new release of 2026. And, let me know. And am I alone in not really keeping up with new releases because of all the other books I need to catch up on? I would love to know I'm not alone. And until next time, guys, make sure that you read more books. Oh, and if you want to watch more of my content, there's a couple ideas here on the end screen for you.